set the levels to where I can intentionally clip.
Good morning and good evening and good afternoon and good day and good night. I want to cover all the bases because I don't know when you listen to this.
There's no judgment here.
But you're listening to Geek Out, Freak Out. This is the weekly This Week in Geek News Roundup, guys.
The weekly this weekend.
The weekly this week. The weekly this week. Good news. Good times.
Morning.
Great oldies. Kiss 96 The Mix.
Son of a bitch.
As always, I'm your host, Jeff, joined by my amazing, lovable, perfect wife,
Actually, I'm just average, but hey.
Christina. Hey. And my average best friend, Spencer.
I've never heard a more appropriate introduction.
So this is going to be, This Week in Geek. Everything in gaming, comic book, movie news, all that good geeky shit that you guys like. We love it too. We're going to talk about it. First up, we have in games news, guys. We figured out what Pete Hines was talking about last week when he said there was going to be a new game from Bethesda this year. And then he turned around and said, nope, there's not going to be a new game. And then he turned around again and was like, but actually, there is a new game.
And it's an old game.
It is
So
an old
did we figure it out?
Yep, nope, they totally announced what it was. It is Doom coming to the Nintendo Switch, as well as Wolfenstein 2.
Which, on the surface, seems like good news for the Switch. But,
yeah, sure.
But then you realize that they're
It's the
incredibly
Switch?
graphically downgraded.
Yep.
Ooh,
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
So, like, what really is the incentive to play those games on the Switch?
I guess to have him on the go, man.
Yeah, I don't
guess that
know.
makes sense.
People still have yet to explain to me what the appeal of playing a game that, because handheld games generally you can, like close your 3DS and throw it in your pocket, and come back to it later. But for a game like Doom, like it hasn't been expressed to me what the appeal of playing that quote on the go is.
Right.
Like, I don't know.
I mean, like,
I guess I don't take public transit. That could be a pretty big thing. But.
yeah, for sure. Oh, that is a huge portion of it. I mean, it's definitely, I think, a Japanese-minded product with that in mind.
Yeah, yeah.
But nevertheless, I mean, there's definitely circumstances in which I don't know that I would lug it around to use it in those circumstances. But I mean, being able to relax on the couch or whatever, play a game handheld while someone else is watching the TV, or even like if I was younger, playing it in bed, that would be super appealing.
Yeah.
But now I'm older and I have a job, so it's like, hey, I know when I'm in bed, I want to get that sweet, delicious sleep that is all too rare.
Yeah, and like as soon as I go to bed, I'm ready for bed. I just don't go to bed until 2:00 in the morning
Because you're playing games.
because I'm playing games.
You could be playing them in the bed. I guess that's the idea. But yeah, that was just a part of what was announced at Nintendo Direct or Nintendo's Direct that they did this past week. They also showed off some more Super Mario Odyssey. That's it. I kept wanting to say Galaxy. And what else did they show?
Don't
Xeno.
disgrace
Is it
Galaxy
Xeno
like
Gears
that.
or Xeno Blade?
I get them confused.
It's the same franchise, right?
I think it's the same universe. I don't know if it's
Yeah.
the same franchise.
I'm pretty sure that it's all kind of the same thing. I don't know, man. Maybe not.
Neither do I. Those never impressed me very much. So,
Or is Xenogears a really old game? Am I getting that mixed up with a totally different old game?
dude, I don't even know. And I'm
I
the
don't know
one.
either.
I'm the one out of the three of us who would.
That's true, man. But other than that, I mean, it was mostly just like Doom and Wolfenstein. It was just more new old games that are coming to Switch and more indie games that have been on PC and Xbox One and PS4 for decades now coming to Switch. That's the thing. The Switch is the new hot indie console, but I think it's only because devs can be like, hey, we've already sold pretty much every copy we're going to sell of our game on these other platforms. Now there's a new one we can sell it on.
Exactly.
There's something out that's a little bit more powerful than a cell phone. So we can put our games on it. Good deal.
Yeah.
It is kind of sad. I mean, like in our past one or 2 episodes ago, we talked about how I kind of do want to get a Switch. And that's still true. I mean, it'll probably be like holidays or even after that if I do get one, because there's just not enough games. But at the same time, like, I have no. It's disheartening when I read like, oh, top 10 must-have games. Number 1, Zelda. Well, I already have that because I have a Wii U.
Yeah.
Number 2, Cave Story. Okay, I played that 10 fucking years ago.
Yeah.
Like I don't need to
fun.
play Cave Story again. Number 3, Shovel Knight. Okay, again, I have that on the Wii U and on the PC. I played it 4 years ago. Like, what are you fucking telling me right now? But
Yeah, I mean, at least now there are. Because you turned around on Odyssey, right? You're excited for it?
I mean, after, again, seeing Tim Rogers' review of the platforming specifically, I am excited for, like, a good, challenging, 3D platforming.
So
there's something very appealing to me about that, just moving around a well-designed landscape with your double jumps and wall jumps and long jumps and all that good stuff.
So we've got Mushroom Kingdom, Rabbids, the Mario XCOM game. I always forget exactly what it's called.
Yeah, Mario plus Rabbids Battle for the Mushroom Kingdom or something.
Yeah, something like that. And then you've also got Odyssey, and at some point a Mario Kart 9's coming around.
Sure. Yeah.
So at this point, a holiday this year for a Switch, if you've been on the fence, might make sense.
Yeah.
Depending on the kind of gamer that you are.
There's a new Kirby and a new Yoshi coming out next year.
Yep.
I'm more excited for the Kirby than I am the Yoshi, but yeah, I mean, there's starting to get a good library of like actually new, unique games, and that is the only appeal really that most Nintendo consoles have, more so than the console themselves. Is just like there's only one way to get those sweet juicy Nintendo games. If nothing else, I'm gonna have one owned prior to Metroid Prime 4 coming out.
Yeah.
Now we also got they talked about the SNES Classic. Did you see their comments about that?
No.
People are buying them on eBay because they're selling out and everything.
Yeah.
They're like, whoa, do not pay more than the suggested retail price of $80 for a Super Nintendo Classic. There will be plenty to go around this holiday season. Like, they're trying to reassure people that they are not going to sell out.
Didn't they say that there was going to be plenty to go around the first launch?
For the NES Classic?
No.
Oh, just for the initial launch of the Super Nintendo Classic. Yeah, they did. They said, they said that this time around it wouldn't be like the NES Classic was. And it is exactly like it was, but like I guess they're like, hey, it's not over yet, basically, if that makes sense. They also turned around and also announced that next year they're going to relaunch the NES Classic. They're going to make more of those to put out for sale.
Because it was stupid that they got rid of them.
Yeah.
Period.
It is weird that they... I think that's an intentional thing that Nintendo does. Because Nintendo is like the only thing that I can think of that still has supply problems.
They're afraid that the demand won't be there, so they create demand by shorting supply. Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I think that they know that the demand will be there, but they try to grab headlines and stuff and make people buy it now by intentionally shorting supply. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because Switches are still kind of hard to come by. Like, there's a whole subreddit dedicated to like, oh, there's 4 Switch units in at the Target, on the east side of Indianapolis. Like,
Jeff and I know a guy who manages a GameStop, and I see him post on Facebook a lot, like, hey, we have Switches in at our location. So
yeah. And it's like they get them every week. They get a shipment, but they get 3, 4, 5 at a time.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it seems very asinine to me. You know what I mean?
Very much so.
Send 100 in at once, like you do with any other product in the fucking world.
Yeah, I'm just getting tired of this shit, man.
For sure. We also, some other new games that were announced and came out this week. Spellbound from Chucklefish. They gave an interview and they talked more about that. That's the Harry Potter Kiki's Delivery Service inspired magic school life sim in the vein of Stardew Valley, but
excuse us while we cream our jeans.
Yeah. All 3 of us are like, oh my God, must have day 1 purchase.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
God, like, I need it right now.
Like, if it comes out early access, you're gonna get that shit.
Yeah.
Total lack of features.
I will pay as much money.
Just let me walk around the school. Just let me walk around the school as a sprite with no walking animation.
Dude, just give me the sprite. I don't care.
It's definitely something I'm super pumped about. I mean, some of the things they talked about was how with Stardew Valley, one of the things that they thought the developer did really well, because it's not the same developer, it's the same publisher.
Right.
But they have an in-house development team. They did some like late game work on Stardew Valley. They're the ones working on getting the multiplayer update working.
I can't wait for that.
But the same team also developed Starbound and some other game. I can't think of it off the top of my head. But it was originally named Warbound, but then they changed the name.
Warfare? Is it Warfare?
I don't know.
I don't know.
But
I don't know what I'm talking about.
I feel like they're going to miss a huge opportunity if they don't call it Spellbound.
well, that is the working name right now.
Is that the working name?
Yeah, but,
Okay.
but they said they don't know if they'll stick with it or not. They have no idea. But that's what they call it currently. But it is, that works better than Warbound or even Starbound. But yeah, no, I mean, it's like one of those games that I didn't know I wanted until I saw a single screenshot of it and was
Right.
like, oh, I do love life sims like Stardew Valley, but I really don't give a shit about farming. Like, that's not something I enjoy in day-to-day life, but those games can make me care about those things. But I do enjoy magic shit in day-to-day life.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can do that same thing for magic shit, 100% all in, all aboard.
I want to mix some potions.
Yeah,
Right.
that's like what they were talking about, is how Stardew Valley made even more boring things like crafting and farming and
Yeah.
Oh my
made
God.
those things
yeah,
fun.
It makes it exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said they want to do the same for potions making, spell making. They said they'd be like magical farming, thinking of like Harry Potter going to what class is it, man?
Herbology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking of horticulture.
Well,
We also did you see the game Tooth and Tail that came out and it's getting pretty decent reviews?
No, I haven't seen that.
It's I had planned on getting it and playing it all week, but then we got Divinity 2 instead.
Oh my God.
And I haven't been able to stop playing it. But it's like an RTS. The developers said that they wanted to do for RTSs what like Hearthstone did for card games. Like simplifying it and making it like a much quicker, easier,
okay.
palatable experience.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's all like Redwall, basically.
Oh, that's
okay.
right.
That's
You
why
told
I'm
me
all
about
about
that.
it. It's Redwall if the characters in Redwall had evolved to like the early industrial era. Like some of them have like single shot rifles and stuff like that.
I'm into that.
But yeah, all your units are like different animals that are the units that have different abilities and stuff. The graphic style is like real pixelated and really fucking cool looking. But it's gotten super good reviews and I cannot wait to actually download it and play it. But
In like a year.
yeah, after we beat Divinity, it's going to be a long time. Also, Divinity 2 came out. Divinity Original Sin 2, that is. It's an amazing fucking classic RPG style game. If you haven't bought that already or haven't
Go,
heard of it,
do it.
It's outselling PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
It should.
Yeah, for like the first game that's done that
Like
for
I
fucking
love
ever.
PlayerUnknown, but
Yeah,
my
for
God,
sure.
this game is so fun.
Yeah, it's definitely a good one. We got some news about the DBZ Fighters game. They confirmed, don't worry guys, Tien and Yamcha are gonna be in it.
Thank God.
I know, dude. I was really scared I wouldn't be able to die as Yamcha over and over.
If I can't Wolf Fang Fist up against a Kamehameha wave, then what is this all for?
If I can't do his tri-beam, Tien's little gravity thing, I hope that's a move that's represented well. Like,
Yeah.
that's still one of the most epic moments in the anime is him super outclassed by Cell, but that one move being able to just keep Cell pinned to the ground long enough to save everybody else. Sadly, though, no Chaosu.
No Chaosu.
No.
We riot.
I bet Chaosu is like one of those assist moves, though, for Tien.
Really?
Because they've shown other characters that have specific moves that bring in non-playable characters like that.
Yeah.
I just can't see a way that they could possibly have Tien not have a move that has Chaosu like latch onto someone's back and fucking blow up like he does.
Yeah.
That's a no-brainer. They also have some OC, dude. Android 21.
Android 21.
Yeah. It's an original design by Akira Toriyama. Which means it's like as hilariously bad as
Anything else?
Yeah, as anything else that he's made. And just, his so specific style, it's like very true to it. It's like a female android. She's wearing like a red and black and white checkered dress thing. It's so fucking gaudy and 80s. And she has like a big giant forehead and long curly red hair.
Big giant forehead.
But yeah, I'm interested to see what they do from a plot standpoint to have an original character that's just a new android. That seems like a weird. Like, I feel like if they were like, oh, there's a new original character, it would be like a new Saiyan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know. Pretty cool. I'm still excited for that game. Looks amazing. Now, in the comic book movie side of things, in the DC universe, guys, I think we have the final update for Batwatch 2017.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Can you do the music?
Good
evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with an update on Batwatch 2017 Batfleck Gate. There was a new photo that was shared across social media of Ben Affleck in the Batman costume, but it is noticeably different than the one in Batman vs. Superman, as well as the one in the upcoming Justice League movie. So suggestions are that it is a test for the solo Batman movie, is the only real explanation there. Which seems to confirm that it will be Ben Affleck in at least one solo Batman movie.
You think that Ben Affleck won't just leave in the middle of a project?
Has he done that before? Is that something he's done?
I don't know, man, but it's been so tumultuous. Like, what? All of a sudden, it's like they've been waffling on it, and then all of a sudden he's in the suit, so what, they came to a decision just like that? I don't know.
Yeah, I think he really wants to do it, personally.
Me too. I think people should step back and let him. He was really, really good.
Yeah, for sure. They also finally confirmed that Patty Jenkins will be directing Wonder Woman 2.
Kind of surprising it took him that long to strike a deal.
Yay.
I mean, I think that that's mostly her part. I think that was her like, nope, pay me more.
Well, that's good.
And they kept sliding a number on paper over. Okay, how about this? And she was like, well, let me see how much Zack Snyder made. Nope, pay me more.
That is not how much Zack Snyder made to make his movie that didn't make you as much money as my movie.
Yep. So hopefully she got a hell of a good deal.
I hope she walks around with a tiara on.
The entire time.
Well, just like anytime she's in negotiations, just so people know.
Some news that I'm super fucking excited for. The director for the Nightwing movie gave a bunch of interviews this week, Chris McKay, and he commented on the fact that Haley's Circus is going to be in the movie. He's casting actual circus actors to play Haley's Circus, which is the home of the amazing Flying Graysons, which is, Dick Grayson's backstory, performing their most daring... I'm just thinking of the fucking Batman musical. Their most daring feat, the Grayson Dive. So it looks like probably we'll see that origin, which is kind of cool that even though it's a Nightwing movie, that we would see that that's still something that like keeps him up at night. I wonder if we'll get a twist on the whole... it was done really well in the Batman animated series, but, it was like the ropes were intentionally frayed by mobsters, which is why his family died doing the Grayson Dive. And there's a storyline where he eventually finds out who was directly responsible for it and is like just a fucking hair's width away from throwing the dude into the fucking river and letting him drown, basically. Yeah. So I think it seems pretty obvious that we're going to get something like that, right? Like, how could you avoid having that moment if you're going to show that origin? I feel like the plot, it has to pay off with that scene, right?
I'm loving how excited he seems to be in these quotes.
Yeah. So these quotes I was wanting to read, he was asking about the big screen debut, and the direct quote, he said, it's going to be a fucking badass action movie with a lot of heart and emotion. It's going to be a crazy fun ride. Whoever gets cast as Nightwing and any of the other actors around are going to go through a fucking boot camp experience because it's going to be a lot. I'm not going to do a lot of CG. It's going to be all real shit. It's going to be real stunt work, and they're going to need to do all the stuff on camera and do it credibly. For the cast and the crew, it's going to be a visceral experience. And for the audience, it's not going to be like a lot of those movies where there's a lot of CGI and flying and things like that. Everything he does, it's going to have to be real. His superpower is being really fucking good as a human being at fighting and gymnastics and shit like that. So you're going to see that on screen. It's going to be fun.
He's really fucking good at flying and gymnastics, little girl.
Stick around. You might learn something. But I love it. Like, that is 100% what I want. I love
that's what he needs to be saying, man.
Yeah, dude, like the not doing CGI, because for a lot of things, you don't need to do CGI. I feel like we got a lot of CGI Batman doing stuff that didn't need to be CGI in Batman versus Superman.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like,
totally agree.
Like, even him grappling, hooking away and stuff. And, like, just Yeah, dude. Cast someone who looks the part, he's fucking good, and just let him beat the fuck out of a bunch of other regular dudes. Like, it should be like the movie Kick-Ass. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like more or less.
Yep.
That is fucking Nightwing, even down to the weapon of choice. But, yeah, I think this is my most, like, anticipated DC movie. I still keep kind of feeling like every time that the dude even gives an interview, I'm like, it's like really happening? Like they're really making a fucking Nightwing movie?
Right.
So
this has been talked about for so long. And really any of the Robins or, you know, Nightwing even specifically have gotten so little screen time.
Yeah, we've only gotten one movie that had or I guess two. He was introduced in Batman Forever and then was in Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
And like, Jesus Christ, we deserve better than that.
Yeah, we deserve better than that. What the hell?
Better than Holy Rusted Metal Batman.
Holy Rusted Metal Batman.
But yes, it should be super good getting the Bat family on screen. We got Batgirl coming as well, so who knows what's next, dude? Probably Batmite.
Jesus.
What?
Do you No, they're not gonna make a Batmite movie.
We don't have time, Christina.
Okay.
We do not have time.
What about Ace the Bat Dog?
I know.
I just said we didn't have time.
Dog.
Oh, that's right, because Ace is in Batman Beyond. That's actually, hey, you know what? If they ever make a live action Batman Beyond movie, we may get Ace the Bat Dog. He's handled pretty well in Batman Beyond. He doesn't dress up. That's
the line.
Yeah, that's really the line. He's just a dog. He's just sitting by Bruce Wayne's side, and when old man Bruce Wayne gets attacked by the clown gang, he fucking bites the shit out of him as a dog should.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Crow.
Good deal. Oh, God. I'm skipping over that. I do not give a shit about Batman Dark Knight's Metal. Batman Who Laughs with this weird fucking... No, that's stupid. If you guys already know about it, it's fucking stupid. If
The
you're
official
excited
Geek
about it,
Out
you're
Freak
dumb.
Out position is that it is stupid.
On to Star Wars. You guys like Star Wars, right?
I've heard of Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about it, though.
No, I don't like it.
Isn't that one where he like fucks his sister and then they give birth to like this weird green thing who doesn't like he has like dyslexia?
Yeah, that's it.
No, that's... I was going to go Star Trek route with it, but that's better.
Okay.
So Joseph Gordon-Levitt is going to have a cameo in The Last Jedi. Rian Johnson confirmed. He's been in all of Rian Johnson's movies so far.
Cool.
Obviously starred in Looper, which is the best Rian Johnson movie that I've ever seen.
Oh, that's great.
So, yeah, I probably won't be able to recognize him, similar to like Daniel Craig being the stormtrooper that gets mind tricked in The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
I think the like British royal family also has a cameo, right? Wasn't that a news thing? Did anybody else ever remember seeing that?
I think that's a fever dream you had.
No, dude,
I also
I am pretty
think
sure that I do
like, what?
that I do remember seeing like the two Prince Charles and Prince what's the other one's name?
Harry.
Yeah, Prince Charles and Prince Harry decked out in like X-Wing pilot outfits.
Oh, okay.
As just like a cameo role.
No, I mean that sounds like a thing.
Yeah,
That's
if
fine.
I was royalty, I would do that.
Yeah.
Like, well, I'm a prince, you know. So
What happens in the next movie when they get a little weird with it and it's like, no, I want to have lines.
I'm the main character now.
I'm the main character.
The movie's about me. I'm a prince. I can have you beheaded. I don't think you can do that.
Just have me play Finn. I can't play Ray, but I'll play Finn.
Oh God. Also, we got J.J. Abrams confirmed to be writing and directing Episode 9 after old Colin Trevorrow's departure.
People are losing their shit. I think it's going to be fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine. I mean, I don't know. I'll have an opinion once we see The Last Jedi. If The Last Jedi is really fucking good, I'll be like, damn, dude, I kind of wish it had been Rian Johnson. But if The Last Jedi is equal to or less than The Force Awakens, then it's fine. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Either way, it is going to be fine.
I'm not necessarily judging JJ on The Force Awakens. Because so much went into that and who... Like, I understand kind of the decision-making that went into let's make this seem like A New Hope a little bit, you know? Like,
Yeah.
So who's to say that... Like, people are assuming that he's just going to make the last movie like Return of the Jedi. Just because the first movie was similar to A New Hope. So I don't think his mind's going to go there specifically. And J.J. Abrams has done many things that have been great, in my opinion, so...
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm not too concerned about it. Also, it got delayed because of that to December of 2019. And I'm pretty sure every single movie since The Force Awakens they've tried to release in May, and it has subsequently been delayed until the following December, right?
Yes.
So they're still just a year apart, each of them. Mm-hmm. But like, poor guys. they really want to get that one in May so they can start having them locked in May. It's just never going to happen.
No, it is certainly not.
The new book coming out, Certain Point of View. It's the 40th anniversary of Star Wars. It's 40 short stories from 40 different authors. I think it's going to be similar to the classic Tales from Jabba's Palace and Tales from the Mos Eisley Cantina and Tales of the Bounty Hunters. Some of my favorite old expanded universe books.
It's a clever name too.
The Tales of, or the
a certain point of view.
Yeah, for sure. There's some of the stories that are confirmed for it. There's a Boba Fett story, called Extra Muscle or Hired Muscle or something like that. Mm-hmm. In the audiobook version, they're bringing in a bunch of really famous stars to voice characters in the audiobook version. Boba Fett is being voiced by John Hamm.
Oh.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, there's a story about a general of some kind on the Death Star. I think the first Death Star. And it's all about his point of view of just like living on the Death Star. Yeah. As like just a job. And it's being voiced by Neil Patrick Harris.
Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah, there's a Dr. Aphra story. And goddamn dude, I can't even think. I had a whole list that I had read the other day. But the one that has already been released online, you guys can look it up, the audiobook portion for Yoda's little story. We listened to that earlier before the podcast. What'd you guys think of that?
I've cried every time I listen to it.
Yeah, that's true. We have listened to it twice, and you did cry both times.
Yep.
So what made you cry about it exactly? Because it's not sad.
No, it's so sweet. I'm gonna cry again.
Good, that's fine.
It's just the way that they talk to each other. Just
yeah. The basic plot is it's right after A New Hope, and Ghost Obi-Wan Kenobi visits Yoda on Dagobah before sending Luke there, and is essentially asking his permission to send Luke to Yoda.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is really cool just having an extra an extra moment of those two characters interacting with each other without such dire circumstances as is seen in the movies. Like, it definitely feels like they're just good friends spending some time together.
Old friends who may be the last people around who understand each other.
Yeah, very, very so much. And even in that, it's like a 5-minute audiobook, but there's some really cool things that I think are welcome additions to the lore and everything, like the fact that Yoda's blanket is Qui-Gon Jinn's cloak, and that it's the only thing he took with him when he went to Dagobah and had to escape Coruscant.
Yes.
The whole, whenever Obi-Wan first suggests the idea of, you're going to train a Skywalker, Yoda's like, oh yeah, dude, I've been looking forward to this. She's totally ready. And is 100% like, yeah, Leia, obviously I'm going to train Leia. Which makes so much sense. She's like, if he's been watching these two people since they were born from a distance,
Leia has her shit together, and right. Leia understands the gravity of the situation.
Right. She's a senator. She's already fighting for, the Republic and for what's good and right in the world. And she's already done, put her life on the line doing shit. I read an interesting thing on Reddit suggesting that was the plan all along. And that's reinforced within Rogue One whenever Bail Organa is like, yeah, we got to get Obi-Wan Kenobi involved, and there's only one person I trust to transport the plans, and it ends up being Leia, his own daughter. That basically he's saying, I know that if Leia delivers the plans to Obi-Wan, Obi-Wan's going to train her to be a Jedi. Yeah. And I know that that's what we need right now. Obviously, it doesn't work out that way.
No, it does not.
But I love that it also reinforces Yoda's distaste for Luke. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, even this little thing conceals so many gaps. And because when you watch it in the movie, especially with the context of the whole prequel trilogy and everything, you're kind of like Yoda, why are you being such a dick? This is the
not only
only
are you
way.
being a dick, you're being just intentionally completely flippant And
and to the point of like, this is the only way to save the galaxy. So you don't want to save the galaxy? Is that it? Like, that's why you're not going to train Luke? And it reinforces his whole, no, there is another line.
Yeah.
Like, even after his partial training, he still is like, that's not my plan. Like, I do not care what Luke does. I know I can make an amazing Jedi out of Leia, and that's still what I plan on doing.
yeah.
So pretty cool stuff. I hope that the other stories are just as ripe with some delicious additions to the lore.
Yeah, it was really, it captured me for the whole 5 minutes that it took.
Yeah. In the Marvel Cinematic Universe, some cool stuff. James Gunn confirmed that Rocket's, quote, horrible origin story will be explored in an upcoming movie.
Oh, God, that's going to be sad. Wait, did he say an upcoming movie?
Yeah. Yeah, in an upcoming movie, they're going to explore Rocket's horrible origin story. He also said that it's going to be even worse than his origin is in the comics already.
It's so bad in the comics.
Yeah, so he's basically like he's a regular Earth raccoon who's given sentience through Rakens, who's given sentience through cybernetics and stuff, and a bunch of other animals are as well, and it's done so that they can run a planet where the entire planet is basically like an asylum, like a state hospital for the mentally ill.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really fucked up and tragic. And like they're like,
I knew it was tragic.
yeah, like the people overseeing it. Yeah, like the people overseeing it are like abusive and not good caretakers, and then the animals that are given sentience like recognize that no, these people deserve to be treated well, and so they kind of help them escape and everything, and most of the animals die, which is why he's like, I'm the only one left like me, like, you know, and you kind of get that kind of attitude in the movies already. So I don't know how it can get more tragic than that, but definitely looking forward to seeing his backstory. I think he's for sure. I think has the most depth, even more than Peter Quill, out of any of the characters in the Guardians.
Yeah,
in all honesty,
I can agree with that.
Yeah, there's a lot that could be explored there. As far as the X-Men Marvel Universe goes, they sent Logan. It was like the first movie that was submitted to like the Oscars for screening.
Hey,
they are pushing it super fucking hard. Do you think it deserves an Oscar?
Do I think Logan deserves an Oscar?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'll say yeah.
Do you think even though it's a superhero movie,
You see, that's why I kind of reject the premise of the question to begin with. Like, I hate that mentality. Like, why shouldn't?
I mean, I see where you're coming from. Obviously, I love these movies, but at the same time, like, is the Avengers 1 even remotely, close to something like fucking whatever Citizen Kane?
No,
Citizen Kane, you know what I mean?
It's not, but it's not that exclusively because it's a superhero movie. It's because that's not the kind of movie that they made with these superheroes.
Right. I agree with you.
So I guess that's what I'm asking. Like, do you think that as a dramatic, moving film that Logan it punches its weight and is up there with other movies that are
yes
that are considered that already by default?
Yes,
you know
is
what
the
I'm
answer
saying?
to the question.
I think so.
Yeah.
No, I was not about to suggest that we throw up Age of Ultron
right
for an Oscar or something like that. But I mean, look at where Mad Max took everything home.
Yeah. That's very true. That's very true.
Like there are Oscars for costume design, there are Oscars for fight choreography, there are Oscars for cinematography, obviously. Like even in some of these other movies, you could make a claim, at least somewhat, for like the Oscars light, like the awards that aren't for like actors or writing or whatever. They might deserve to be considered.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I think it's gunning for everything. Do you think that Hugh Jackman's performance in that movie is moving enough to be up there with best lead actor performances?
Yeah. No, I mean, that's what carried the movie for me, was his relationship with the girl, obviously. Like it's hard for me to consider that a superhero movie even.
Right.
Yeah.
Him, I feel like Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart, and the young actress who played X-23, all those three made that movie, and any one of them would deserve a lead actor or supporting actor or actress award. for their performance. Honestly, maybe even more so than Hugh Jackman. Patrick Stewart could deserve a fucking best supporting actor.
Yeah.
For making me cry like 5 times throughout that movie.
Damn, that was brutal.
That's just a great fucking movie. I definitely hope it gets some kind of recognition. I do think that it deserves it 100%. You know, I mean, that changed things quite a bit, and I think that we're going to feel the impacts of that movie.
I certainly fucking hope so. I hope it gets Oscars.
Yeah.
Like, at least one, because then they can turn that into, oh, okay, these kinds of superhero movies get us
Oscars, as opposed to Deadpool. That's the other thing. I feel like there's a double-edged sword with Logan and Deadpool where they're both rated R. They're both the same movie in so many people's minds. You know what I mean? It's like, no, they are not the same movie. Not all movies need to be Deadpool movies. Probably only Deadpool
Probably
movies.
very few movies need to be Deadpool movies.
Just the Deadpool ones.
I'm happy that they exist. Don't need more numbers.
Yeah. We also got some other miscellaneous. First up, the David Harbour Hellboy picture. It's Hellboy. Finally, we got to see Hellboy in his makeup. What did you guys think of?
I'd like to recite what you said to me.
Yeah.
Which is that it looks like David Harbour's under there, but that they're sculpting the face makeup to make him look like Ron Perlman as Hellboy.
Yeah.
Yes. But you also said that it didn't look very good.
Yeah.
I didn't think it looked that bad.
I mean, being really nitpicky, the Hand of Doom looks terrible.
I guess I didn't look super closely at it, but like from a first look, I don't think it looks that bad.
Yeah,
it could have looked a hell of a lot worse.
The Hand of Doom.
I see what you did there.
The Hand of Doom looks the Hand of Doom looks like it's rusted metal to me. I mean, we don't see it in motion, you know, it's only in specific lighting, so who's to say, but in the 2 pictures that have been released, it looks like it's rusted, shiny metal, and it's just not supposed to be. It's supposed to be stone. And I know that they want to, it's like, I feel like they want to visually set themselves apart, but they've only done it with just weird choices. Like, I'm cool with the not having, like, Hellboy and the Ron Perlman Hellboy had some of, like, the almost like scars. He has, like, lines on his body that are sort of like arcane markings. They got rid of those. That's fine. I'm cool with that. They made the horns bigger. That's cool. The horns could be infinitely bigger, and I'll always be happy about it.
Yeah.
But then they have, like, his hair down. Like, he has really long down hair, whereas Hellboy has that signature, like, fucking samurai top knot, and he's bald on top.
Yeah.
He's not bald on top.
Yeah.
He just has long, scraggly looking hair, and that looks weird to me. And then the Hand of Doom being, like, metal instead of stone, like it's supposed to be. Like, well, I don't know why you would change that. But then the thing they don't change is the face. Like I said, like, it looks like, whereas Ron Perlman had very little prosthetics to play the character of Hellboy, David Harbour is clearly buried under a mountain of prosthetics that all just look like Ron Perlman's face.
Yeah.
It's very fucking strange. Why not just let it be David Harbour's face? It's okay that they have different faces. It's not like Ron Perlman's character, it's not like his face looked that much like the comic Hellboy. I mean, in Mike Mignolia's artwork, there's almost no detail.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's plenty of
It's literally a blank
interpretation.
slate for a face to be superimposed upon.
Dude, it's just a long red face and with glowing eyes. That's, I mean, all that it fucking is. But
all of that feels fairly nitpicky to me. I'm going to be honest. I usually
Sure.
like give a pass for that. I think that I'll wait and see for most of it. But I can't get past that. It looks like fucking Goro from the first Mortal Kombat. It looks exactly like that in the face. That kind of fucking like
plastic face.
Yeah. Like, I almost get an uncanny valley feel from it,
Yeah.
which it's a real person's face under there. I should not be getting that.
Yeah, we'll see how well it emotes and everything. And I mean, they've only just begun. It's very likely that's just a test and things will change.
I'm still stoked.
Yeah, also they can update things with CG, you know.
Obviously.
So who knows?
Poor David Harbour
now-
had to take one of those photos down. I felt so bad.
Yeah, that's true. He posted a separate one and it got removed. And the second one looked really bad.
Yeah.
Like way worse. It was black and white. It looked way worse than the color one. Now, regardless of all that, David Harbour got fucking ripped right?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Didn't he have like a dad bod? In
Yeah,
the first
he-
episode of Stranger Things, he wakes up and he doesn't have a
Like,
shirt on.
yeah,
right? And he
it's total dad bod, like a 3/4 beer gut.
right. Oh, like over some muscle, right? Like,
Yeah.
like was fit in high school when he played football, and he's not totally out of shape now, but he's pounding beers nonstop.
Yeah.
Whereas he is massive and fucking jacked, and his veins are bulging out. Like, I don't know. He went on the Chris Pratt diet. It
Right.
looks
Yeah.
like,
Exactly.
for sure.
So you just quit drinking beer? Yeah.
Like he like called out Chris Pratt, David Harbour. What did he do? Dude, just quit drinking beer. Really? Yeah, I promise, man. Just don't drink beer.
Just don't drink beer.
I don't know, man, but okay.
You're gonna get really ripped and really popular, and then you and your wife are gonna split up, but it'll be okay.
We also got Blade Runner. It's coming out in October, right after the movie premieres. A Blade Runner anime is coming out, and it is going to be written and directed by the writer and director for Cowboy Bebop. And the art direction is going to be overseen by the art director for Gundam Wing. Could you combine two better anime like creators into one to work on a project?
No, this definitely caught my eye, and I was like, "Oh, I can't wait to fucking talk about this on the podcast."
Yeah.
Dude, it's seriously like we're doing a segment this week called Dream Games. This might be one of our dream like anime. You know,
Just those two.
just those two working
on
together.
anything.
Like Blade Runner, it's a great universe for them to work with. Sure,
Yeah.
yeah, excited for that. But like just the two of them getting to work together, and for us to be able to see this beautiful gift that will be bestowed upon Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Bestowed.
Bestowed. Nah, I'm pumped about it. I loved. I mean, I think it makes me think of like the Animatrix, and they did a similar thing whenever Dark Knight came out. There was a Batman. There's like an anime Batman.
Yeah.
That's like 7 short stories from different, same as the Animatrix, but for Batman.
Gotcha.
Those are 2 of my favorite anime movies. Like the Animatrix is better than the Matrix 2 and 3, hands down.
Yeah, and it's not even close.
No, and it explores genuinely interesting concepts and ideas in that universe. I don't think we've ever talked about the Animatrix on the podcast, have we?
Not at any sort of length, no.
Okay, cool. Then I can take at least a minute to be like, hey, how fucking dope is the story in the Animatrix about the runner? Do you guys remember that?
I only vaguely remember the Animatrix. I need to watch it again.
There's
But I remember that it was really fucking good.
Yeah, there's in the Matrix 2 in the movie when he meets the creator, and the creator is like, this has been like the 10th or 11th or whatever version of the Matrix because the previous versions got shut down and we had to reboot them for various reasons. People broke them, stuff like that. This explores one of those. And the whole reason it got shut down is because this Olympic runner.
Oh, yeah. Okay, no, I totally remember now.
Just
Yeah.
regular human runs so fast that he literally runs faster than the machines ever calculated a human could run.
Mm-hmm.
So it totally breaks all the code in the system, and he's like breaks out of the Matrix, and he's still running, and he's outrunning the agents because the agents aren't programmed to move that fast to be able to catch up with him. To this day, I always fucking go back to that as being like just one of the most fucking interesting concepts for some reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, super pumped for this this Blade Runner. Anything Blade Runner is always cool, and anything involving those 2 anime creators, I think, has got to be top quality stuff. Now, we did talk about Robotech on a previous episode.
Yeah.
Did you hear who is in charge of it now?
No.
The team who created It. Sony has given the new It movie. Sony gave, it's a brother and sister combo writer and director.
Yeah.
This is the next thing that they're working on. After the second part of It, they're in charge of the Robotech live action movie. And they brought it up in an interview. They were asked about It too, and they're like, yeah, super pumped about It too. But after that, we're doing Robotech, and I want to tell you guys how pumped we are about Robotech.
Keep going. I'm almost there.
They understand it too. In the interview, they were talking about like how it's so interesting because it was like they bring up the fact that it was an amalgamation of 3 separate animes and somehow was able to be mashed together to be still regarded as one of the better generational storylines that's ever come to like Western shores.
Yeah.
Even though it's like origin is just so weird and confusing and should not have been even watchable, like let alone good and cohesive.
So strange.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty fucking cool. Anything else you guys saw this week that you thought was interesting?
Nope.
Yeah, well, that's it for the This Week in Geek Weekly News Roundup. You've been listening to Geek Out Freak Outs. Please, tune
Please
in,
freak out and
like it.
geek out.
comment, subscribe, do all the things. Bing the bell. Hit him with the bing the bell.
Bing that bell.
DJ
Bing
that,
it.
Bing that bell back. Till next time, guys.
Back with another one of them bing bong and bells.
Bong.